Welcome to the American Dream series, Alumna. Like many WC students, you are an immigrant and have big dreams for your life. Tell us your story as to how you got to where you are today, and what is your American dream?
I'll have to start from way back in Ukraine. When I was little, I grew up in Ukraine basically in a single parent family with only my mom. My parents were divorced since I was like 3 years old. And in school, we didn't have, it was a regular Ukrainian school, like post Soviet kind of school. We started learning English when I was like in the second grade kind of thing. And I remember this like American people coming to us. They were like saying the story about, I guess they were like volunteers from America trying to make like some church, open a church in Ukraine or something, but they were speaking English. That was the first time I heard English, like real kind of English, like them speaking something else. I was like so impressed, and since then I started learning the language by myself because none of my parents speak it. And my mom was kind of pushing me to study hard and stuff. At first I wasn't doing that great in school at all because it was always, nobody like really cares that much. And when you're little, you just want to enjoy, have fun, whatever. And then I guess when I started growing up, I really I realized that education matters a lot. And I kind of came to the conclusion that if you don't have a good education, there is no way you can like succeed in life. I grew up with my mom basically, and my mom had like, she's a pharmacist. She couldn't afford sending me to like a really good college or whatever. And my father at the time wasn't supporting us much also. So after I finished school, I finished it with honors, of course, and struggled, and I wanted to go into a good college. I went into college in Ukraine, and it was constant struggle about money. It was like, because in Ukraine, the way things work is parents pay for your education. So basically, you don't have to worry about anything. It just, all this load is on parents. You just have to study kind of thing. And at some point I got tired of it, and I thought, I don't want this to be that way because my mom is struggling and it's not fair towards her. So I started thinking about doing something by myself, and getting a job in Ukraine when you're 19 years old is pretty much impossible. What can you be doing? Waitering, basically. And I was studying international relationship, English. I wanted to be an interpreter, study languages. And at one point, I found this program, Au Pair in America program, and that's basically how I decided to come here. My parents were like really, I guess, angry with me. My dad was angry with me. My mom was like, you can go ahead and do whatever you want. Because since I was little, like, it was always, I wanted to go to America. That was like my big thing. And everybody knew that. It's like in all of my school tapes, when we were all talking, they always made jokes about me. Alona is going to be in New York, and ha ha ha, of course you're not. And then, I started applying for this au pair program, and I found a family in New York. And one day I kept it on the low, never said anything to anyone. And then when everything was set up, I got my visa and everything, I came home and I was like, so I'm going to New York in a month. And everybody just looked at me. They were like, no, you're not, like, you're kidding. And I was like, yeah, I am. And I still struggle with that. It's like a big thing for me. I don't want no man, no parents paying for me. I want to pay for myself. I want to be independent. And that's why I came here, because I figured that America is pretty much the only country where women can be, independent the way in non-other countries they can be independent that way. So, I came here as au pair, was babysitting, and I was so happy when I got here. It was like, oh my God, everything looked so different. I grew up, it's like, it was constant, gardening and stuff. We had our potato field. It's like, and here all the supermarkets and big stuff. I'm from a little town. It's like a village, Every spring you go, you plant potatoes. Then every fall you dig them out, you drag this stuff. And here you come, and it's like nobody does that. And I couldn't believe that actually people don't do that for a living, Yeah, I enrolled in WCC. I guess I was looking for colleges around, and then some of my friends were coming here and they were telling me about the college and stuff. I came to Professor Barato and talked to him. And I figured that I like this college, I want to try to come in here, I took classes in summer and I liked professors a lot. Actually, I think I like American education way more than Ukrainian one. Because Ukrainian is kind of, it's very, No, it's like professors never really concentrate on students as much. They just give you material and they rush through everything. So it goes really fast. And in the beginning, it's hard to get accustomed to it because we're used to have like such a load of material. We take like, when I was in college in Ukraine, it was 13 subjects a semester. So your head goes crazy. You have 5, 6 exam and then 5 or 6 tests where you have pass or not pass. So it's easier for me in here when it's just 5 classes. I feel like I don't have to do anything. I really don't struggle studying in here because in Ukraine it was constant struggle. In here it's more like concentrating what do you want to do and what you're good at, and the professors actually like let you explore that and like figure out what you're good at. So I mean I like the way the education goes in here. I don't know how it's gonna end up all, but I mean I hope on transferring somewhere after this college. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to afford it, but I'm going to just apply for scholarships and try to figure it out that way. I mean, I got sponsors for this first school, which in Ukraine, never in a million years I would get sponsors to go to school, you know. I mean, you can call it sponsors. I work for them full time. It's hard. I don't know. And what kind of angers me a little is that people in here are like, I see a lot of students who are so unappreciative of it. It's like, you pay so little for it, you know. I mean, I work full time, like from 8 to like 8 in the evening, you know. I study full time and I have my 4.0. And nobody pushes me in the back, nobody tells me, hey, you know, you have to study. No, you're a grown up person, you have to think about that yourself. And you see these kids in here, you know, so unappreciative. I'm like, how do you just waste your opportunity? You have so many opportunities in here.
What impact does WCC have on your journey of achieving your American dream?
WCC it's been great studying in here. A lot of professors have been very helpful, like professors in marketing classes and business organization classes, you know. I don't think I would ever get that much useful information in Ukraine studying that stuff. In here, it's actually all like hands-on and it's so practical. I mean, I feel like after 2 years in here, I know more stuff about marketing than after almost 4 years that I studied in Ukraine public relationships. I feel more confident in myself, and professors in here kind of encourage you to be, you know, confident and encourage you to go and explore what you want to do, and they just like give you so many ways to, you know, find out what is it you're better in doing, and I like that a lot. I like that professors communicate, you know, with students a lot too, and I mean, we never had that much communication as professors in Ukraine. It was like you're in class, you're out of class, you know, you go, you have exam, whatever. In here, you have a problem, you email professor, they all help you. And I like that a lot about WCC. I mean, I don't know how is it. I hope that it's going to be the same way in other colleges, but I feel like in here, maybe because it's a relatively small college, I guess, it feels very much like a family kind of. Because you feel that everybody knows each other kind of thing. So, I mean, people recommend you all the time who to talk to and how to figure out stuff. So it's kind of, I like that. It's very, I don't know, like on a personal level, it's very intimate, I guess.
What do you want to say to other students about WCC?
You know, I guess use your opportunities, don't waste your time. And I wish students in here were more like competitive. You have to think about yourself, how you want to succeed in life, and that's how I think, you know. So I want to compete. I want to see people like encouraging me. That gives me drive. And I feel like if students were more like communicating and stuff in class, it would be so much more interesting, you know, because I feel like it's always professors pushing students, do this, do that, read, you know, it's great. Professors are awesome, but a lot of students, it's just like you read it, you come, and you don't even have much people to exchange your thoughts on the subject. And when you don't discuss it, it doesn't go in, you know. So, I mean, people just have to communicate and explore stuff. Don't just like sit in there and wait for somebody to bring stuff to you on a plate. You know, do something for it. That's how I look at it.